Greetings and welcome, Pisces, for your February reading, the Lightroom forecast. So today we will be looking at your overriding energies, what's happening around you, your choices, your challenges and traits for ease. And at the end we'll pull a couple of other cards just to see as a little bit of an extra, and we'll also be clarifying. So let's get stuck into it straight away. Lovely Pisces, as we go into and toward this lovely full moon in Leo, and I do feel that it's a great time to be enjoying oneself, actually. Overarching energies for you, Pisces, we get the Three of Discs. The Three of Discs is really about building some foundations, some new foundations. So you may well be working collaboratively with others on particular projects, or drawing in the resources that you have around you for whatever projects that may be on the go, or plans that are in the pipeline. And we'll just get a card now for your choices here. So there's quite a lot of activity, I would think. Your choices, quite a lot of activity around you. We have for choice, we have the Eight of Wands, a card of communication, a card of speed. You can relate this card, in fact, to anything to do with the internet. You know, this immediate response. It's often traditionally a card that speaks of messages coming in, maybe messages coming in, but generally speed. And of course the eights are all about mental activity. Yeah, new information coming through, maybe. Choices based on this. A range of new opportunity, possibly. And certainly to do with others, because the Three of Discs is about collaborative effort. So your choices, well, they might be changing quite swiftly even. Now, challenge over this time, or at this current time, really. I do believe that readings are more so in this immediate time that we're in. And of course we change our own future, as it were, by the sort of small acts that we do currently in this present time. The challenge for you lovely Pisceans, we get the Nine of Cups, and in the Thoth deck it's called happiness. Maybe for various reasons, and possibly because there's a lot of activity going on. This kind of, look, I always think that the Nine of Cups to me is, it's about knowing that you can emotionally fill your own cups to be independent in that sense. So you know your cups, you've got 9 of them, they're all radiating a lot of emotion, a lot of water, they're all full, they're very active and available to you. And there's an independence within this. If we look to the more physical aspects of the Nine of Discs, again another 9, we see in a traditionally an independent woman, a self-made woman. And in some ways, they're both very similar in that sense that there's an independence about it. So that's in the challenge position, and we'll go through and clarify these a little bit. And of course, 9 is coming up to where it presents itself in the material world, whatever this 9 of Cups is for you, because it's really coming into this tangible world around us. Let's see. Maybe you're making some decisions at the moment that are kind of important. This card's been coming out a lot this week. We have the 8 of Swords, and that just popped out. Decisions. Don't feel limited. Don't feel any self-limitation when it comes to making your own independent decisions, is what I get. Now let's just have a look at traits for ease at this time. Traits for ease, please. Traits for ease for lovely Pisces. Pardon me, there's definitely, I just hear that working in cahoots on possible projects or working with others at the moment seems to be the obvious thing around you. And that may well just be work. It might be your work environment. So traits for ease for lovely Pisces, please. Traits for ease. We get the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is basically like the chrysalid. Oh, that was nearly a Freudian slip there. It's like a chrysalid. So look, nothing's coming in for the Hanged Man. Nothing's coming in. And actually, nothing's been given out either. He's in his wee pod, and he's just waiting. He's waiting for this, whatever this internal process is. He's gone into stasis. And there's always a reason for that. Sometimes we need to do that. We need to we need to understand sometimes aspects of ourselves. And often the Hanged Man is like not so much like the Hermit, where the Hermit actively removes himself for the purpose of looking inward to gain more information. The Hanged Man, there's this sort of alchemical process going on here. And it's like just a pause in time, almost, or stopping your timeline to go, to remove. But it's not necessarily a process that you understand that's going on either. Traits for ease. You don't need to deal with any more incoming, as we see in incoming messages, information. There's so much information flowing around at the moment. That's a choice. Traits for ease. In some ways, this is a choice. Not always, but often. So let's just go through and we'll clarify here. Let us see. Don't underestimate yourself on an emotional sense, in an emotional way. And of course, it's always good not to limit your capacity to give either. is what I'm just getting here. So let's see, for overarching energies with the Three of Discs, this collaborative card, which involves others, not just ourselves, needing to work with others, possibly realizing other people's importance in your life also. And we have, you know, it's like that thing, we have friends that, you know, every relationship is that we have with friends, family, of course, is sort of individual connections. And some people provide us with certain things, and we can provide them with certain things. And then other people, it's different things, isn't it? That's the way it works. So we can't get everything from one source, as it were. Let's see. Let us see, Pisces. Can we clarify the Three of Discs, please? Can we clarify the Three of Discs? Yeah, we get another 3. And threes are two. Threes are two. Threes are two. Are about, I should say, understanding. You know, we've made a decision. We've made some decision at the point of 2, and we come into 3, and we're ready to create again after making that decision. We see a man here. He has 1 wand behind him, but he has 2 in front. If you can think of, so the point of this card with the Three of Discs is that this is a kind of journey of sorts. You're taking a breather before you complete it, before you complete the journey. And you sort of know there's nothing ahead of you that you probably don't either know about, and certainly no hurdles ahead of you that you can't cross. And if you look at this card with his 2 wands in front, in this deck, the 2 of Wands seems the importance of that, whatever decision was made at the 2 point. When we look at that 2 of Wands card, oh, there's your card there on the bottom, the Queen of Cups. What was I saying? We look at the 2 of Wands. We see a figure with holding 2 wands in front of him, and in between those 2 wands is what appears to be a crystal ball. So we're sort of bringing in a little bit of the psychic nature of the Piscean, this Neptunian, the Neptunian within. Interesting. So we're moving forward on this journey that involves other people, involves activities. It's quite exciting. But we understand. It's not like this is confusing in any way. We understand what's going on around us at this point. So that's good, isn't it? That's a great positive thing. We get into our choices. Choices is very fast moving energy. Maybe it's a time to think quite clearly if you're going into business with someone. You feel like you're not pushed, but in terms of time, there's a speed element. There's a speed element here in terms of what you're choosing along the way, or what you're choosing next on this journey. Choices, we get the 4 of Discs. The Four of Discs is about stability. It's wonderful. All the fours are ruled by Jupiter. They're very beneficial cards. They're cards full of mercy. They're beautiful. There's a solidity about this card. There's security within this card. There's security here. I do think you've been presented with some choices that are challenging that. And what I mean by that is holding on, like there's security in this card, and that's a great thing. We all need it. But this guy on the other polarity of this card, or this woman, is genderless. There's a point where we need to let go sometimes. There really is a point where we need to open ourselves up as well, because this is indicates a closing off around the heart, not a closing off, but a covering the heart, the solar plexus, the crown. I mean, in some ways, the four at the most, I'm just looking at the most negative aspect of it, or negative, whatever, it's just the other aspect of it. He's holding on, like there's a holding on here as well, but this is for a it's not for security purposes. It's for different, possibly more expansive spiritual purposes here with the Hanged Man. So we see in the choice position, we know how to protect ourselves. Sometimes choice, well, we have unlimited choice. We don't have a list of choices that we're given when we're born. There's no, there's not, you don't get 150 choices when you're born and that's it, do you? It's endless. So here, I guess the guidance is in the position of choice is to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. I seem to quote Kenny Rogers in that line, especially with the Four of Discs. Anyway, Pisces, so it's interesting. You know what's it. Well, you know what you're moving towards here. Your choices, I would say, without going on and on about it, possibly free flow. Let free flow begin. And in order to do that, you need to just loosen this up a bit. Choices. Now let's, where are we? Got the wrong deck. Let's have a look at our challenges here. A bit of self-limitation with the Eight of Swords. Nine of Cups, an amazing card. Just radiant cups. Can we get one card, please? For beautiful Pisces. For beautiful Pisces. As I said before, what comes in, what goes out. Self-limitation. Limitation of I just get this feeling of free flow, limitation of what you are giving out and what you're able to receive at this current time. With the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Swords, we get the Justice card, the great card of balance. The great card of balance. I really like this card and the red and the colours in it. I really like that. And one sword of truth. And of course the scales. Justice. I guess the need to not retain, the need to, the challenge is really to balance. I think there's something about being emotionally independent, emotional independence. Be wary of self-limitation, or being limited by or overly influenced by things around you that limit your idea of where you can go, is just what I'm feeling with justice. There is natural law, of course, you know, that it's something about that free flow, natural law. I don't know, it's quite weird. It's a bit weird. Not weird, but possibly it's quite specific. So it's not necessarily going to resonate for everyone that's watching this. Of course, it never does, but it might just be quite specific. We get justice. Possibly in the past, there have been, and they are self-limitations. It's not coming from anywhere else. There have been self-limitations in your ability to radiate or to receive on an emotional level. And at this time, you've been presented with an opportunity or a challenge of sorts, and you're having to deal with something, because it does feel like it's something that's historical, or it's in the past, it's from the past, but it's something that has been carried forward, and hence in that traits for ease, really, it's like stepping back. Just take a deep breath. Nothing's coming in, nothing's going out. We're chrysalid zone just for a time. Even though there's all this sort of activity going on around us. It's quite interesting. It is quite interesting, Pisces. And it could be all the joie de vivre of this beautiful full moon in Leo that's happening, you know, childlike. There's a childlike joy and expression, and wow, as I was talking about that and not concentrating on the Hanged Man. For clarification, we get a card of choice that pops out again, which is the Lovers. The Lovers really is a card of choice, but it's also a synthesis, an amalgamation, an integration of masculine, feminine. That doesn't have to be, that is just the feminine, masculine quality, which a lot of women have large parts of what are considered masculine or male qualities, and vice versa. So it's not about that gender business. So we have the Lovers that popped out. I would pop that down around and near justice, because, well, I just want to get something for the Hanged Man. So we're looking at kind of a cosmic synthesis. Integration. You know, the Hermit in the Thoth deck, the Hermit stands over the Lovers, the sacred vows. As much in a sacred marriage as your sacred marriage to yourself as well. This is what I get. Interesting. That's interesting. Right. Now, the Hanged Man, please. Can we just get a clarifying card for the Hanged Man for Pisces at this time. It just seems like there's questions. Yeah, there's a lot of options. There's questions. We're ascertaining what is fantastical and what could be put into solid steps towards a goal. Here we have in the 7, and the 7's all about desire, what we desire, and the assessment of that. And in fact, the potential torment of desire. And in this deck, you know, there's so many cups. There's 7 cups, and they're all full of different things. Now, what are my fantasies? What are my projections here? What are my daydreams? What can I put into tangible planning and tangible? What can I create from this? What one will I choose? Because there's so many options in this card, and I guess to me it makes sense at this point. You might be choosing, quite simply, you might be choosing between being single or not being, or you might be choosing between several lovers. Only you know, dear Pisceans. But yeah, there's a little bit of a blip where you go back into your hanged man and hang there on your tree for a while, just to let the process. You know, I keep getting this thing of this because there is a transformative aspect to the hanged man and to the lovers. Of course there is. Because, you know, this assimilation, integration, we actually, whatever it happens to be, emotional, solid information, you know, all of this at a very fast moving rate moves through our bodies. And what we're doing is that it has to kind of move through, just even on a, you know, if we got a microscope out, even on a cellular level, as we assimilate certain things, and we come to, like choices. We've got speed, this incredible speed, and you've got all these opportunities, but it's sort of like a what feels to me like is just too much choice, and it's coming too fast. Interesting, Pisces. We'll just get a journey map card. So much information coming through, so many options. You know, it is like being in a lolly shop. I think, yeah, it's like being in a lolly shop. Right. Let's get a journey map card for you, dear Pisces. Just a journey map and a little star card for some extra guidance at this time. I mean, it's looking pretty interesting. And of course, you know your life. And if you get something out of this, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. It's always quite interesting, actually, to look through, you know, when you're looking through astrological readings. If you do know your ascendant, your moon, Venus and Jupiter, it's quite good to just, because we are all a mixed bag, of course. Now let's get a journey map card for Pisces at this time, if we can get one to to jump out, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, look, there's a lot going on up there in your lovely little noggin at the moment. We get the Enchanter. Sorry about the light. We get the Enchanter. This card is about, look, feeling it. Feeling the, you know that feeling when you go for a walk in the bush. Maybe you've been living in a really built up urban environment, or you're just somewhere new and you're going for a walk and there's birds and look, and it smells amazing. You're breathing in the trees. It's just fantastic. And you kind of, you're almost giddy with it, with this life force. It's just amazing. And you're absorbing it, and it's in you anyway, but, you know, and you feel so connected with everything. And then suddenly you realize that you're, oops, where am I? I'm not sure how to get back to where I started from. This card is about that. It's just a cautionary card. You know, enjoy enjoy the giddy dance, I guess. I mean, this week, you know, I do feel like as we're nearing towards this full moon, you know, it is sort of an up, well, like, because things have been kind of a bit heavy, and they are, you know, depending on where you are and what's going on, of course, they can be, but it does feel like there's a little bit of lightness happening at the moment. But it's just the guide here is to say, look, don't get carried away and get lost in the bush. And suddenly the weather turns to custard, and you kind of just got in the giddy, drunken dance. Anyway, it's good to enjoy the giddy dance, you know, but keep your bearings, keep your anchor. Certainly keep your anchor to your grounding cord. Beautiful butterfly out there. So many monarchs. Can we get one little star card for, how could it not be? For, this one just jumped out. Beautiful Pisces. We get earth, love, pleasure and purpose. Have you found your seat of unique personal power? Maybe these are questions going through the Piscean's mind at this current point in time. Personal power, and what is yours? What are those qualities in you? What are those qualities that you see? If you step away and try and be objective, what are those amazing qualities? Of which there are many, my dear friends, I would say. Endless. So on that note, I hope you got something from this reading. Look, it looks like there's you've got a lot of options, a lot of choice. Underneath it all, you know what lies ahead. You've been there before. You're familiar with a lot of it. And it's about making right choices for you. All right, lovely Pisces. Have an absolutely wonderful week, and I hope you can join me later in the week on Thursday for, which is just tomorrow, isn't it? For the full moon in Leo reading. We will be doing, we'll be doing a nice extended spread. Okay, cheery now. Have a lovely day and a lovely week, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.